The Bad Guys is the brand new DreamWorks animated film, stars Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Aquafina, Craig Robinson, Anthony Ramos, Richard Ayotte, Zazie Beetz, Alex Borstein, and Lily Singh. And it's about these several reformed yet misunderstood criminal animals who are trying to become good with the help of a guinea pig played by Richard Ayotte. And as they try to go good, some disastrous results go along the way. The film's an hour 40, and of course, is PG. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here on Max Talk Movies. We're talking The Bad Guys from DreamWorks Animation. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, box office breakdown shows. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Also, please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. That really helps the most to support the show. This and subscribing are really tied. It really helps. So the algorithm, the more likes you guys give this video, the more people who are looking for a review of The Bad Guys, they will click on this video. So please, guys, like the video so more people can check out my channel and this awesome community that we have been building. Comment down below. Let me know, have you seen The Bad Guys? First of all, did you like it, not like it in non-spoiler fashion? And also, if you have not seen the film, there's a lot of films coming out, 3 of them coming out this weekend. Is The Bad Guys one of them, or is this one of the films that you actually are just waiting for to come out on digital? Please like this video, all those things. Let's get started. So as I said, The Bad Guys exclusive film from DreamWorks. DreamWorks is a studio that I really did grow up with, really with Pixar. Those are the two major film studios. That was kind of the era in the early 2000s that kind of were past the Disney Millennium type films, and was really Pixar and DreamWorks were the films that I grew up on. So I'm always excited for a new DreamWorks film, and I do think DreamWorks lows are way lower than Pixar. Pixar for me is far way better than DreamWorks, but I was excited for the film. The trailers really got me. Has a near 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, I mean, the reviews were good. The cast was good. It looked like a fun time. And that is exactly what this is. My positives, my negatives, and my score. I had a pleasant surprise. This is a really solid animated film from DreamWorks. It's a fun, turn your brain off hour 40 in the Cineplex, which is rare to see with animated films these days. I see all kinds of animated films. Because I grew up with animated films, I just love animated films. I know how great they can be. I know a lot of people these days, and this is just all generations, always just put these films just for kids. And when I grew up, I felt like they were not just for kids, but also for kids and adults. And that's what kind of the great animated films do. And yes, is this film majority made for kids? It absolutely is. It's a character played by a piranha, played by Anthony Ramos. His whole bit is that he farts. I mean, that is a bit in these types of movies. This type of movie has a lot of cheesiness, a lot of stuff that's mainly for kids. But other than that, I just had a really good time watching this movie. Sam Rockwell voice is the main character, Wolf, who's kind of the first of the batch of criminals who wants to be a good guy. He's kind of in the society as a wolf, just already assumed by the way he looks, just to be a villain. And he's never felt any kind of love by anyone other than his criminal friends who feel the same way. Sam Rockwell is great in this movie as Wolf, and Wolf was by far and away the most fascinating character of the whole movie. He's kind of the leader of the group of criminals, wants to go good, but has mixed feelings about what would happen if he becomes a good guy. He never really thought about that being a possibility. And his relationship with the mayor of the town, Diane Foxington, who's voiced by Zazie Beetz, those were two by far for me strongest characters. The banter between Rockwell and Zazie Beetz was great, especially towards the last 30 minutes of the movie. And you really did care for Wolf, because again, all these characters don't really have names, the animals. You have wolf, snake, tarantula, shark, and piranha. And that's the group of criminals. That's Rockwell, Maron, Aquafina, Craig Robinson, and Anthony Ramos. It's a fun group of cast of characters. Aquafina is usually funny. Craig Robinson has some really funny bits. Mark Maron as the snake is one of the key. Snake and Wolf have a really key relationship in the film. Snake's always very heavy into the bad guy stuff, and Wolf's kind of trying to be a good guy, and how they've been best friends for so long. Obviously, that's clashing ideals. So Maron and Rockwell's relationship is really crucial to the film. Richard Ayotte, who is really funny as well. He plays a guinea pig who's trying to turn the criminals into good guys. Very funny as well. I love Zazie Beetz as usual, but she's really good in this movie. And Alex Borstein plays a police chief who is also very funny and has unique things about her. So overall, it's just a fun, pleasant movie. The action was actually really solid. There's a couple things that kind of shocked me about what the movie was doing. And the animation for me, I dug the animation. I know some people have not been clamoring for that. I love animation. I'm very critical of animation. Not done well. If you've watched my Adventures of Buck Wild Ice Age film from earlier this year, you can tell how critical I can be about animation. The animation was really beautiful. Different type of animation from DreamWorks I usually don't see. But I enjoy it. It's a fun batch of characters in a fun society. And yes, these are messages that you've seen in a billion other kids' films. Because the film knows that, it just has fun with the concept. So overall, it was a fun time. Let's get into, and again, I cared about the criminal group, and I really did care for Wolf by far and away. I had a great time with Sam Rockwell as Wolf. Just an easy film to watch, a breeze to watch. I think both adults and kids will have a fun time. Adults who are worrying that they won't get anything out of it, be bored. I think adults will have fun with this movie. I'm kind of above the age of being too kiddie these days, so I found a fun movie. But let's go to some of the negatives. As I said, this plot is not something brand new. Total villains who are trying to turn into heroes. These are types of films that are definitely made for kids. As I said, the farts bit with Anthony Ramos's character just wasn't that funny. There's also a bit with a TV reporter who is voiced by Lily Singh that felt way too on the nose. She was saying like OMG and these types of phrases like on as a reporter. And it just kind of sucked me out of the movie. The actual funny part of her bit was actually the news prompts that you could see underneath the headlines. Her herself wasn't very funny. I don't want to blame Lily Singh. It's the script that she was given, but it just was not very good. There's the big villain of the movie. Just you could have, I mean, it's a very predictable villain. It's a very predictable plot. You kind of know the twists and turns of where the movie is going. There was like one element of the story of a twist, I guess, as you say, if it's counted as a twist, not really a twist, but part of the story that I definitely actually did not see coming. But for the most part, it's a very conventional story that isn't really breaking out their ground. Other than Rockwell and really in this whole group, the rest of the characters of this criminals weren't that interesting. Snake kind of had the most to do out of the batch, other than Wolf. But even him, they kind of fell into the back burner. And Wolf became the main character. I would have loved a little bit more of those characters having unique takes on it. Other than Snake, the rest of them just follow along. So I would have liked the group of criminals to have multiple ideologies, except just Wolf and Snake having their own one. So the batch of criminals are fun to watch, but some of them are just kind of forgettable characters that, especially like Awkwafina's character and Craig Robinson, which is weird to say, they're both probably the two funniest actors in the entire film that are not the most interesting characters by a long shot. It's a very conventional film. Sometimes the kid jokes are just too kiddie for sure. But overall, guys, a pleasant surprise from DreamWorks Animation. Well, I think this movie will go very under the radar, especially with films like The Northman and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent coming out. I do think if you're a parent and you're thinking about taking your kids to the theater, I would recommend checking out The Bad Guys from DreamWorks. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to go 72% for the bad, 70, let's go 73% for The Bad Guys. Really good time in the theater, a great year to start for, even though my least favorite film of the year is an animated film, talking about Turning Red and Apollo 10.5, a really good start to the year for animation. Obviously, we have Lightyear coming out in June, but already, guys, animated films, I have like 3 to 4 animated films that I've seen. 3 of the 5 animated films I've seen this year. So good year so far for animation. I know a lot of this movie is going very under the radar, but definitely check out The Bad Guys. Definitely recommend it, especially for families. So that's my thoughts on The Bad Guys. Tell me if you agree or disagree with me in the comment section down below. Like the video, comment, subscribe to all of those different things. Upcoming videos on the channel. Monday, you'll get my box office breakdown show. Might be seeing Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent on Tuesday. We'll bring you that review once I see that film. Wednesday, you'll get my episode 4 spoiler review of Moon Knight. That's what's coming out on the channel. How does The Bad Guys do at the box office? Come back on Monday. I'll see you guys.